Hello, it's Bob on Wednesday the 29th of January. Many Scottish cities, towns and villages celebrated 266 years since the birth of Robert Burns on Saturday past. He was and is our national poet, and we in Forfar East Old and Inverarity ate the haggis, recited his poetry and sang his songs like millions of others across the globe. Robert was an innovator, thought differently, did not conform to his place in society as a ploughman farmer towards the end of the 18th century. And he often expressed ideas in his music and verse that caught people off balance. Free thinking often brought him into conflict with the establishment, especially the church. In 1785 he wrote The Holy Fair, about a twice-yearly event in the village of Mauchline, Ayrshire, where large numbers of people gathered to hear outdoor preachings prior to taking communion. Burns used this poem and Holy Willie's Prayer to expose the hypocrisy and double standards he saw in kirk ministers and elders, producing a scathing attack against those in power whom he felt abused their authority. His satire highlights this moral tug-of-war that people found themselves in, torn between the teachings of the kirk and the more earthly pleasures of drinking and womanizing. He himself admits he'd fallen prey to this. Very early in his life, he was acutely aware of the social distinctions which divided his class from the wealthy landowners and merchants. It was precisely this life of demanding physical work and poverty, combined with his sharp awareness of social disadvantage, that drove Burns to find an expressive, creative outlet. He began to write poetry as some kind of balance to this hard upbringing as a teenager and young man. He was too lowly to be granted a vote, but Burns used his writing desk as his ballot box and his pen to make his voice heard. He grew up at a time when the radical movement was seeking political reform and became a natural sympathiser with its aims. In his most famous democratic political song, he dares to speak up for the common man. He attacks social rank and proclaims the coming of a new age of universal brotherhood. Then let us pray that come it may, as come it will for all that sense and worth o'er all the earth shall bear the gree, and all that, for all that and all that, it's coming yet, for all that man to man the world o'er shall brothers be for all that. I think that in this world of trouble and bloodshed, that is a sentiment we should all pray for. I wish you God's blessings for the coming week.